My name is Tyonum Peter. I currently contribute to BDK. BDK is an open source project, and you can see me on Twitter at _TVPeter. So in this talk, we are going to look at what actually makes up what we call a wallet. We are going to look at how the BDK project or the toolkit can actually be able to make it easy for you to be able to build wallets. We are going to actually see why, my talk is say composing, which means bringing different components together. So what makes BDK to give you those modules so that you can put them together to form a wallet. We're also going to practically look at compose a wallet here. And then if time permits, we are going to do a demo, and then we can take some questions. Yeah, so a wallet, we're talking about Bitcoin wallet. I have not built an Ethereum wallet or any other wallet, so I'm referring specifically to Bitcoin wallet. A Bitcoin wallet, what is it? A wallet comprises of different components, but it's just a piece of software that helps you to be able to know the value of Bitcoin you hold. And like we say in Bitcoin, not your keys, not your coins, right? And what that means is your wallet simply holds and manages the keys. So if you look at it, one of the major components of building a wallet is key management. You want to be able to have a strategy that you can be able to manage your keys very well. Then you also have where you can be able to save the data. Let's say anytime that you need data about the transactions that your wallet have performed, you are not going to go to internet. You are not going to make a round trip, right, to the blockchain to be able to get that data. So you want to find a strategy that you can be able to save it in storage, right? We call that persistence. You also want to find a very good method that you can be able to construct a transaction. Constructing a transaction is the process of being able to transfer your Bitcoin from one address to another, right? So let's say I want to send you some Bitcoin. You're going to give me an address, and then I will compose a transaction. The process of doing that is what? Transaction construction. So you must have a strategy for you to be able to construct transactions. There are different approaches anyway. There's an algorithm that helps you to do that. We'll likely look at that. And then your wallet doesn't exist in a world of its own. It needs to be able to communicate to the blockchain, right? When I say blockchain, which means like the connection of all the other nodes that are running Bitcoin that give you updated information, right? So you need to find a way by which your wallet can be able to get information about the keys that you have, right? So all these components come together. There are so many other ones that I left out, right? But at a higher level, these are the components that makes up what a wallet is. Now, what is BDK? The BDK, the full meaning is Bitcoin Development Kit. Now, as the name implies, it's a kit. We want to be able to, what they do is they provide you libraries. And these libraries are like components, right? Let's say you want to cook. Let me use an analogy of cooking. You want to cook rice, jollof rice. What do you need? You need the rice itself. You need oil. You need Maggi. You need all the other ingredients, right? Depending on what you need. Now, you are going to put everything together before you start up the process. Now, what this toolkit does is it provides you all the different elements, the different components, so that you can piece them together to make up a fantastic wallet. So, this is just a minor aspect of it, but if you look at the first quadrant, I talked about the transaction logic. So there's a couple of libraries that are there. You have the BDK wallet and the BDK underscore wallet, and then BDK underscore TX. So the first one gives you a type, right? The wallet is like a type. So it helps you to be able to compose a wallet, given that when you provide it with a key, which can be expressed as this in form of strings, and those strings, we call them descriptors, output descriptors, right? Once you supply it there, it's going to give you back a wallet. The BDK TX gives you the ability to be able to, how you want to be able to construct your transaction, right? So that has a lot of things like what strategy do you want to be able to select your coins, right? Your output, your unspent transaction output. So in Bitcoin, there's what is called UTXOs. You know, that's what your money represents, right? It represents the value that you have. Now, for you to be able to construct a transaction, we give you these guys so that you can be able to use them, right? And then the structures that you need, they are also, so in the structures, you have the BDK core and the BDK chain. What the BDK chain does is it defines, let's say you are building an application, right? You are building an application. In that application, you define the structure of your database. This is the way I expect my data to come in, right? So that when your API receives that data, it can be able to interpret it, right? So the BDK chain defines the way that you want to be able to receive the data from the blockchain and how you want to be able to save it, right? The BDK core provides the core structures that are used by both the wallets, both the chain, both the TX, right? It's like the glue amongst everything. Then you have the way you want to persist data. What is the database type that you want to use? We offer you, what's the database type that you want to use? Which is the persistence? We offer you, because most of the times, our primary target is for you to be able to build wallets, mobile wallets, right? So we offer you the file store and the BDK SQLite, so you can be able to save your data. And then for you to be able to talk to the blockchain itself, let's say you construct a transaction. When you construct a transaction, you send out that transaction, right? You are going to broadcast, we call it broadcasting a transaction. So you are going to broadcast that transaction. You are going to also receive information from the blockchain concerning your wallet. Any keys that are controlled by your wallet, you want to be able to have that information like I was telling you. So these are some of the options that we have provided. We call them blockchain clients. They are like clients, right? That helps you to be able to talk to the blockchain itself. So we have the BDK Explorer. The index is like an index server. It sits in front of a node, a full node, right? There are different types of nodes. So we have a full node. It sits in front of a full node, receive all the information, and index that information so that when you make a query, you say, okay, give me information about this particular keys, right? It can be able to give you that information easily without wasting time. Similar to Explorer, the Electrum also does the same thing, but they are different. They have a minor difference. It also indexes the data and provides you with any information regarding the keys that you need. But you can set up your own Electrum server. It's open source. You can be able to set it up. But we provide you with a client that, let's say you are running an Explorer server, or you are connected to an Explorer that you are going to be taking data from. We provide a client that helps you to be able to receive that data, and your wallet will perfectly understand, right? Then you also have what is called the BDK Koto. So this is an interesting one. It's actually advanced in the sense that it uses what is called compact block filters. And that is just a fancy way of saying that when I connect to a node, I'm not going to give the node all my information. I just want it to be able to give me information in a cryptic manner that I can be able to receive and decrypt it, right? So we have a client that helps us to be able to talk to compact block filtered enabled nodes, right? And then we also have what is called the BDK Bitcoin DRPC client. That one is, assuming that you are running your own personal node, it's encouraged that everybody runs their own node, right? It's good that you run your own Bitcoin node. What that does is you are helping the network, you are securing the network, you are providing network security and all that. So if you have your own node and you want to be able to build, you build your wallet, and you want to be able to receive information directly from that wallet, right? From that node to your wallet, you can use the BDK Bitcoin DRPC client. And what that does is it's going to help you to be able to communicate to your node, right? You can be able to sync, you can be able to broadcast transactions, you can be able to get all the metadata concerning your transactions. Yeah, so these are not just everything. I couldn't be able to fit everything into this. But this gives you a contextual idea of the different purposes of the libraries that BDK is providing you with, right? We have certain documentation tools. We have other aspects of other libraries that are there, right? Yeah, so why is it, when I say that BDK is modular, what does it mean? It means that if you are able to construct, when you provide, those of you that have read have studied anything about Bitcoin, you understand that you first of all start with your keys, right? When you want to create a wallet, the first thing that you are going to do, you are going to provide it with keys, right? And those keys, you are going to, there's a way that you can express those keys. And you first of all start with those keys, you can express them in form of descriptors. We call them output descriptors. They represent the way, the spending conditions that you want your keys to have. There are certain keys that are private keys. There are some that are public keys. Private keys helps you to be able to construct a transaction and be able to sign that transaction, right? Some of them can only be able to give you addresses, and then you can be able to monitor your transactions on that, right? So we first of all start with, at the base layer, you need to provide an output descriptor, 2 output descriptors. Why is it 2? Actually, it's 1, but you can express, there's a way that it's represented as 2. So you have the change descriptors, and then you also have your main descriptors that you can be able to receive coins, right? Now, when you have your descriptors, and the miniscripts, they are the base layer of everything that BDK is building on, right? So when you provide us with descriptors, what they define, you tell us, this is how I want to be able to spend. This is how my wallet will be able to spend. It might be that you only need a single signature to be able to sign transactions. It might be that it requires more than a single signature to be able to sign your transactions. No matter the spending conditions that you define, you are going to use miniscripts and then the descriptors to express that, right? From those descriptors, you feed them into what is called a wallet. If you recall that I showed you something about, in our previous slide, I talked about the BDK_wallet, right? And that wallet gives us what is called a wallet type, right? If you see BDK, I call BDK full coin, and then I say wallet, right? That gives us a type. And the type is, it has automatically created a wallet for you. So that wallet creation phase is either you are recovering a wallet, let's say you are transferring from one wallet to another, or you are creating a fresh wallet, right? Yeah. So once you supply us the descriptors, you create a wallet type, you have your wallet created. Then any other thing, you can be able to swap in and swap out, which means you can go back to the database type, to the database and say, let's say I'm using SQLite today, and I want to swap it with another database type, I can be able to do that seamlessly. I don't need to rebuild. I don't need to think about anything, right? Let's say I want to be able to change how I want to be able to sync or broadcast my transaction, talk to the blockchain. How do I do that? I can come back. Sorry? Yeah, I can come back here, right, and select, okay, I don't want to use Explorer again. I don't want to use BDK Explorer again. I want to use BDK Electrum. I want to talk to an Electrum server, right? Very easy. You just swap it out. Yeah, we are going to see how to do that, right? And then you can also choose how you want to sign your transactions. You could be that when you build your wallet, you could actually be able to save your private keys safely. And then maybe you got a hardware wallet, and you want to be able to transfer them to a hardware wallet. You want to be able to transfer your keys to a hardware wallet. How are you going to do that? You are going to plug in as a signer, right? And the interface is already there for you to be able to plug in. The base layer is the wallet, right? Once you have your wallet created, any other thing you can be able to change. And then there are also things like fee estimation algorithm that you can be able to use. There are so many of them. We have defined them, and we have left it for you to be able to just use it. Now, let's look at the code. Now, if you look at this code, this is just an example. So if you look at the line number 21, you can see that that is an expression of a descriptor, right? And that is called a taproot descriptor. There are different types of descriptors, right? That is a taproot descriptor. So you have the change descriptors and your main descriptor, right? The difference is that the first descriptor, when you want to generate an address and give it to an external wallet to receive value, it uses BDK automatically. The wallet automatically knows that you are going to use the one on line 21, and then there's a change. When you construct a transaction, certain times change comes back. Most of the times change comes back, right? Your wallet receives a change. It's going to use the one on line 22 to be able to derive those addresses. But look at how, so you can see that here, what are they doing here? If you look at it on line 38, no, let me start from line 27, you can see that you just specify the path for your database, right? Once you give it a path, you can be able to load that particular, create a connection automatically. By the way, this is Rust. So if you don't write Rust, just follow what I'm trying to explain. Yeah. So in line 30 to line 36, we have created a wallet. Remember I told you that all you needed to create a wallet was for you to supply it with descriptors, right? And those descriptors express the spending conditions you want to impose on your wallet, right? Yeah, so we are able to create a wallet, right? Here, that's what that line is doing. And then here is just to check whether that wallet already existed, right? If you check, that is on line 38. It's checking whether that wallet already exists, or it's going to create it an entirely new wallet. Now look at line number 50. Here, they are defining a blockchain client. And you can see that what client is used here? Explorer, right? The Explorer client. So you can see that they say Explorer client, Coin, and then it's subtype what? Blockchain client, right? So now, at this line, I can actually be able to say, okay, I want to completely change. I don't want to use the Explorer client. I want to swap it out and use an Electrum client, right? It's just a single line, and I'm able to just supply the information I need for me to be able to create a wallet, right? So you can see that. And then once you have your client, you can see that what is it doing the next? The next line is just going to sending a request. It's performing what is called a full sync. What that means is it's talking to the blockchain to be able to check whether there are any existing transactions or any activity on the keys that you are giving it before, right? so that you'll be able to sync. Yeah, so, I mean, the rest of it is all this. The next line generates an address where you want to be able to. The next line, sorry, this line checks the balance. When you fetch the data, you are definitely going to apply the update on your wallet. And then the next one just checks, generates an address, and all that. Yeah, so let's go back to our slides. Yeah, so, sorry, I didn't present. So I need to present. Yeah, so that's what is there. Yeah, we don't have time for demo. I'll just take your questions. And then these are the resources that, if you want to learn more about BDK, if you want to be able to contribute, yeah, it's an open source project. The code base is there. You can go there, play around with it, and do whatever you want. So I don't know whether I have time for questions.
Okay, so we'll just take one. We'll
Okay.
take one, and all right.
Okay. Anybody? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Like, I dial your number 67. You
Okay.
added if the total balance.
Line 67.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, that's not. 1 minute. Okay, yeah, line 67. Yeah.
Yes, you added if the total balance. How about you putting print?
How about?
Like you adding print at that particular spot.
Okay, if I add 20 to it.
No, print.
Okay, print. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the reason why this is just this code is picked from documentation, and the documentation is meant for you to be able to go there and be able to run it, right? So if you go there and pull the code and you have Rust installed on your system, you can be able to run the code. And that line is checking to see if the amount you want to spend, because we want to be able to send it, perform a transaction. So you can be able to go there, see how a wallet is created, how you can be able to create a transaction and be able to send that transaction, broadcast that particular transaction. So the amount that this transaction needs to spend is 5,000 sats. So it's checking whether the balance in that wallet is up to that. So if it's not, then it gives you that print line that you are seeing there. Is that understood? So you can be able to check out the code on, just Google BDK, Bitcoin Development Kit, and then you should be able to see everything. This thing I'm sharing is public information. Thank you so much.